actually by reading an article, and they said what are the five, and they talk about the 5 things they should invest in, and one of the things that they should invest in is art. And I swear, and I remember I saw this post on Instagram of this guy who just painted a circle and it sold for $2 million. Wow. And I said to myself, really, just for just drawing a circle that can sell for $2 million. But what really kind of gave that value was the person behind the artwork. And I said to myself, wow, this is some great art. This is something that maybe it's something that we should have in our community. And so I was actually in Ghana, just minding my own business, and until I saw this artwork in front of me. Wow. And I said to myself, that level of detail, I don't see that a lot here in Africa. So why not we portray that, but also teach people not just to purchase art and to invest in it. And if you can just kind of have your brochures, again, maybe if you look in the back, you read what it says, right in the middle. Don't just see Africa. What does it say? Invest in Africa. So many people don't know that people are trying to get to Africa, but yet they don't really think about the people. And I feel that there should be an opportunity where we should start not just going to see Africa and try to get back to your roots, but really investing in it. And I think one of the best ways to do that is through art. And I didn't see this until, I guess another example is NFTs. I was very surprised again in regards to how these, I'm sure you saw those little monkeys selling for $1 million. Yes. Mm-hmm. And so it goes to the point, and kind of like what he was saying, in regards to currency. And it kind of based on, I would say, trust and belief, but also value. And so it was like, wait a minute. So people are purchasing a $1 million NFT, and yet it boggles the mind in regards to why would somebody purchase it, but also not only that, is another way of currency. Mm-hmm. And I feel that with art, it should be another, portfolio in regards to investing money. I won't forget this conversation. I was walking with my dogs, and I was with my neighbor, and he was talking about one of his clients bringing in just a bunch of rocks to the airport. And he said, why would you bring a bunch of rocks to the airport? What they don't know is that these rocks are worth $1 million. So why would somebody carry bags $1 million when they can just carry an artwork worth $1 million? I said to myself, wait a minute. So now you just basically, like you said, liquidate. I don't know that's the word. Liquidating. Bags of money into a piece of work that should have a value on it. And that's when I said to myself, you know what? I think I'm going to try this. All I want to do is I would like to have a way where we can start investing in art the way other people are investing in art, but not only that, but also using it as a currency and mostly liquidity. Because like real estate, art doesn't really depreciate. It always appreciates, in my opinion, based on the artiste. So what I have here are just are artworks that I made from West Africa, Ghana. The artist, as you can see in your brochures, his name is Paul Adjei. He spent 10 years, building these artworks. And the way I see it is that this guy could be the next Leonardo da Vinci.
Wow.
Okay. With that level of detail.
Yes.
And so
it's got a lot of details in there.
Exactly, a lot of details in there. And so, and then how I met Ramona is that essentially I was at a AfroCon event where I was selling these artworks, and I got to speak to her, and she's telling me, driven to win, we gotta have to invest in this community. And I said, you know what? That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But also trying to help these young kids to invest. Sometimes they don't understand what stocks are. But what's the best way to introduce that? I said to myself, why not NFTs? Or even better, just artwork themselves. And so using that as a way to learn how to leverage. So when you buy a piece of artwork, hold on to it, and then go to an art auction and sell it, resell it. And I thought that'd be a great idea and a great opportunity for young kids to start investing. And so I have these artworks here. This is called The Legends. This is called The Rejected Beauty. This is The Morning Dew. And so what I tell people when they purchase art is that you're not purchasing just the art, you're investing in it. Because there's so much value in art. And thank you so much for Ramona for inviting me here to allow me to do that. So I'm just here not only to do a presentation, but also to ask you to invest in artwork today. And I know I probably missed the first half in regards to real estate investors. Definitely want to have, not real estate agents, because I think it'd be a great idea to have African artworks in their homes and presenting it to showcase African excellence.
So let me just share something.
Yeah.
One of the strategies with leveraging Prince's interest with art is to engage my 100 Black real estate professionals with the Black Youth Economic Empowerment Initiative. 1,000 Black youth, them, plus 100 Black real estate professionals equals economic empowerment. And so as I build my portfolio of not artists, but real estate professionals that will private label my book and put their contact information in the book, they give $350 to Dream Builders. They buy 10 books, I give them 10 families that need homes. Yes, that's a good trade-off.
It's a good exchange.
Because one family brings in about $10,000 for that real estate person. So if they invest $350, is that a good investment? Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's right. And so what we believe that in showing homes, no matter what the level, I mean, most homes are at $500,000 and above, we can put these artworks into homes, even the $250 ones that I'm purchasing with him, so that our real estate professionals have an opportunity to not only see Africa, but invest in it. And I believe that the Black Youth Economic Empowerment Initiative will be well served by linking a Pan-Africanism strategy. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. And so I just want to share this award. We actually entered into the Art San Diego 2024, and we won the Best New Exhibitor.
Wow.
So it shows us
Awesome.
that, yes, out of the whole event. So it does
Awesome.
show that there is talent and people do appreciate African art. So this is a great opportunity to start investing. And I do have some artworks here in small prints. So they are worth $200 if you wish to have some of African artworks in your home. But also what I like to do is I like to tell stories. And so if I do have time, do I have time to at least tell 1 or 2 stories? 5? Okay. Well, let me do this. While you guys are looking at these artworks, I'm going to actually go on that side and I'll tell you the story behind the legends. And that's how we won the Best New Exhibitor. So, from what is told from Mr. Paula J is that this took Mr. J 6 months to make. I call this upcycle art because he used recycled materials and made them into art. And it took him 6 months to do that. Mixed media as well as acrylic paint. The story is behind the legends is that in Ghana you have a man who is trying to feed his family because there's an extreme severe drought. And looking for ways to find and feed his family, God gave him a dream, a vision. And in that vision, he saw a boat. He didn't know what it was, and so he called it a hema, which is canoe and tree. And God told him, I want you to build this canoe, and I want you to take it out in the water and just wait. And so he did that. He built this canoe, he went out in the water, he waited. And then a few hours later, he came back with fish, and he became the first fisherman in Ghana. He brought his skills of fishing to his family, but also throughout the village. And when he died, he passed on that knowledge of fishing, as well as building canoes, to his family, and their family passed on to his knowledge, to their families, and their families, and their families. Talking about generation passing on knowledge. And so 400 years later, this canoe still lives on, because even though it's tattered, it's still wrapped up together. There's something magical behind this canoe. And every time this canoe goes out in the water, it brings some fish, an array of colorful fish. And so the townspeople are asking themselves, how is it that this raggedy old boat, is able to bring home such an array of colorful fish? And so the descendant says this: every time we go out in the water with this special canoe, we wait. And then we have fish from 4 corners of the earth congregating in this canoe, and they just magically jump up and land on it.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so what the descendants say is that our ancestor who built this canoe, every time we go out in the water, his spirit lives on. And so that is why it's called The Legends Lives On.
Wow.
So, yes,
Wow.
yes, and that just, again, not only is Mr. J a talented artist, but also he's a talented storyteller. And each artwork has a story to tell. It's not just something you just look at, but there's a meaning behind it, and there's a lot of, I would say, the African themes, and I think I just told you one, passing down knowledge, passing down information. And so Jay has done that in this piece of artwork here. And then the last piece of artwork that I'm trying to see which would be the best. Actually, I think this is the best artwork because the theme is about money. So I guess this is a great example of money. So this is called The Rejected Stone. Took Mr. J, I believe, 3 months to make. This is also mixed media. You have acrylic paint as well as little objects here. So the story behind this one is that the woman you see in the center is a modern day Cinderella. She was actually born as an orphan. She had no parents and she was raised on the streets. And everywhere she go, people made fun of her because she had no parents, also, but she was poor. In Ghana, you're either rich or you're poor. There's no middle class. So everywhere she go, whenever they see her, they're all taunting her. If you can look very closely, you see these hidden faces here, here.
Oh,
These-
yes,
yes. So these are the faces of the townspeople that make fun of her for being poor, but also for being ugly. But she had a special gift. God gifted her with the gift of money management. And what she would do
Look at
is,
that.
yes, she would go to every business that is struggling, and she would teach them how to manage their money correctly.
Oh,
And
wow.
within 1 month,
Wow.
their business came back to life. And she brought that talent and her knowledge to every business that she go to. But the more that she taught, the more envious the townspeople came because they were competing against their enemies. They're helping their competitors. And because of that envy, they wanted to kill her. And so she had to hide away. And she went out to a remote village so that nobody could find her. Then one day, you have this prince here who went walking down his kingdom. And he walked down this street knowing that this is the street that is the most poorest, I would say, business or street in his kingdom. But when he looked, he saw saw people coming in, people were buying, people were happy and laughing. And it's like, wait a minute, is this the same store that I know that is going bankrupt? And he was very curious. So like, tell me, are you the same store that you were selling shoes, but now you're selling, I guess, clothing? And I said, I thought you were going out of business. I said, yeah, but this woman, she taught us how to talk money management. And she said, well, where is she? Where can I go? I don't know. She went that way. And so she went to that second store. It's like, hey, somebody told me about this woman who's been helping people making money with their stores. Like, oh yeah, she helped us too. It's like, wait. I said, yeah, she helped you too? So like, yeah. So well, where can I find her? I said, oh, try that way. And 10 stores. He's trying to find this woman who's able to build these stores from the ground up. And the 10th store said, look, yes, we know where she is, but you cannot tell anybody. She's in that remote village, crossed, I guess, a mountain. And so he actually made a long trek to find this one woman. And when he made to his final destination, he saw a village, not a village, a house. And she walked in, and lo and behold, it was the most beautiful woman that he had ever seen. And he asked her, tell me, are you that woman who's been helping my stores in that kingdom over there? And she said, yes. And I said, like, my woman, you have done a great service in my kingdom. Not only that, I found you the most beautiful woman in the world. When she heard that, she cried. Because all her life, she was told that she was ugly. And you can see this, and this is where the rejected stone comes from. You see a woman with 2 faces, one distorted, as you can see here, and then you have a second face that's looking down. So she was very conflicted, even though that she has this amazing gift with money. She had no appreciation for her own self-worth. But then to have somebody like this prince here to tell her that you are the most beautiful thing in the world. But not only that, I love what you've done for my community. She cried because that's all she wanted, was just somebody to tell her that she was beautiful.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Wow.
And so,
That's a great story.
Awesome.
yeah, so he said this, is that I want you in my kingdom, and I want you to become my treasurer. So that you can take your skills and your gift to all my my people. And so a few months later, that friendship turned into a marriage, and she married the woman. And so he wanted to have a big parade. And so everyone was so excited, like the prince has found his queen. The prince has found his queen. Everyone gathered into the streets, and we were waiting to see, who is this woman? Who is this woman that's going down the street? And when they all saw her, all their jaws just dropped and their head turned down, hoping that the woman that they accused of being ugly and being poor and all that would not see her, because they don't want to have their heads cut off.
Wow.
So here comes the queen. And so the queen comes in, big parade. A few years later, that kingdom has now turned into utopia. And leaders all over the world are saying to themselves, how are you able to turn your kingdom from the slums into Dubai? And the prince or the king told her that it's my wife who taught me how to manage my money, but also manage my kingdom. And so the story is this, Apologetics says this: be very careful who you make fun of or who you taunt, because you never know if that same person will make your life much better.
Wow.
The stone that the builders once refused has now become the cornerstone.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This is called
Oh my
the
goodness.
rejected stone.
That's beautiful.
And so, thank you.
I was thinking about that scripture, and that's how appropriate to end.
I have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
So obviously that's the original,
Yes,
and then that's the duplicate over there,
correct.
right? So it's funny because we were just having this. I was just talking about how